right, guys, we here for another episode. I've got an agent here, Daniel Wallace.
Yep.
And today we're going to be talking about real estate as a career, investments, all that stuff. So, Daniel, you're a managing broker.
Yep.
An investor.
Yes.
And all that. You've been doing real estate for how long?
About 12 years.
Yeah, so a little bit more than me.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, what were you doing before the real estate?
Before
Selling?
real estate, I was in
Sales?
sales. Yeah, I did AT&T for a very long time. So I was a manager there for a while.
Okay, so you were in sales, selling AT&T.
Yeah, I was selling cell phones, home services, managing a branch or a store, and
then decided to cut ties and.
well, I decided that all right, I'm making them a lot of money, and I'm
Yeah.
running the business. Like, how hard can this be? Let me look into real estate. I always wanted to do real estate. And I got my license. I was like, I'll start it part-time, see how it goes, what it entails.
What were you doing that part time as you were working at the? What were you doing to generate business?
Just family and friends, just kind of going through there. And then also back then it was there was an office, right? I worked for Century 21.
Oh,
people
that's neat. Yeah,
people
me
would
too.
walk through the door.
You had walk-ins?
You get floor time, and you get calls, and you grow from there. And
Yeah, you did some business from that.
I did a couple things from that, but mainly my source was just like my great friends and family that
Right away,
that trusted me.
Or you had like a period of 6 to 9 months where.
I mean, not right away. No.
Yeah.
So
Like-
my first sale was probably like 7 or 8 months after I got licensed.
So it's
right.
and I bought myself a condo.
Yeah.
That was my first sale. I bought an 84,000 condo for myself. That was my first sale.
Yeah.
And then a friend bought 100,000 condo.
Yeah.
That was my second sale. Yeah. But you had some business come like the friends. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
That the friends and family, you get a license, you say I'm a realtor, but they don't trust you.
And it took me a very long time to get to that moment, that effort moment where it's like,
Yeah.
because that's what you need to ultimately do to be
Yes.
successful in any business.
Yeah.
Is like burn the bridges and commit to it. You can't just dip your toe.
Yeah.
You're not going to get
And
there.
that's why I was not going part time, because I thought that if this not working and the other job is still doing okay, then I'm not gonna spend a lot of time and I'm gonna focus there, and eventually I'm just gonna drop it, because it's you really have to put in time and wait for 6 to 8 9 months for that to work out. Century 21, yeah. So
Yeah.
how long?
I was there probably for about 4 or 5 years.
So it was me.
Yeah. So that was like.
What was
Where-
the reason you quit?
Because I started making more money and I realized, all right, I'm managing an AT&T store. These guys are taking a commission cut, and I'm starting to generate my own referrals and leads, but I'm giving them money. And it's just like, all right, I think I can do this. I think I can get the managing broker license. I've looked into it. I'm like, what's it going to hurt to
Okay,
try?
let's talk about
Yeah.
it. You think everybody should be getting a managing license?
No, I'm not saying everybody.
Why not?
Because some people are able to self-manage and follow procedures and kind of like put together a system. And some people are just like freelance. They need support, they need mentorship, and they need somebody there to go to, and they're not as resourceful as others. There's different personality types, right? You have to be a specific type of person to be a managing broker.
Right.
It's not for everybody.
Are you managing other licensees too?
Yes.
You managing?
Yeah,
other
we have 4 licensees, yeah.
So I've noticed, because I go to broker forums for the board,
Okay.
and there's meetings where other managing brokers get together, and there's a training, and I've noticed that a lot of managing brokers are getting their managing license. One of the biggest reasons is because the commission split.
Yeah.
They want to save as much as they can, and they're there by themselves. Just have the managing broker,
Yeah.
and they're by themselves. No, they're not training nobody. They're just doing that. So that's their mindset. That there's no office. They work from home, and that's one way to do it. There's things I did not see them when I was at Century 21, but I notice it now. There was things that I could have utilized and grow using their already office and everything they have set up, but it was not like I didn't see it.
Yeah, you take advantage of it.
I didn't take advantage. I needed help with transaction coordination. I was doing everything on my own.
Yeah.
And if there was like a conversation, hey, let us help you, and then this would probably, like, I opened this up and became a managing broker because there was 2 ways. Same as you. I was having too high commission splits, and I had to do something with it. So either I find something that's cheaper, or I just go on my own.
Yeah.
But if I go on my own, I don't want to be just by myself. I want to have it like as a business. So either I go this way, or I go to one of the companies that's going to be a little cheaper, and they don't provide me nothing, and I don't ask for nothing. I'm just going to be all by myself.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah, and I think you could do it for a couple of reasons. Like, you can do it because you're an investor, right? And you're just buying and selling, and it makes sense, right?
You can do that.
So then you're controlling you control the costs on that.
Yeah.
So I can see that. Property management, I see that a lot. But for the most part, like you said, if you're starting from scratch, the amount of money you need to put in to build those systems and to get things up and running, nobody really thinks how much that really is.
Yeah.
Because the accounting, the HR stuff, like the maintaining of licenses.
Just to have the printer, that thing cost me $250 a month for 5 years. I have a account. We've got a bunch of software. We got the website for the team. We've got this office space. We got this and that. We got the payroll. This thing adds up, and now it's more than the commission I was giving up at the split.
Yeah, and I think also part of it is the pressure that you have to maintain some sort of business. Like, it keeps you. It's a motivation that you shouldn't have, but you need it to. Hey, I got to be doing something every day to be growing this business, or else these bills are going to stack.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's part of it too.
Do you know how many homes you sold throughout the years?
I don't keep track of a rolling thing of all my years. I just track yearly. I'm still production. Yeah.
Yeah. You said your goal to stay in production?
My goal is not to stay in production. My goal is to be more of like investor and buy and hold and kind of property management, larger apartment buildings or commercial maybe. But we're building towards that.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't very clear to me in the beginning. In the beginning, I think I wanted to just build a big team and just run that way. Then I see the headache that involves and the turnover.
I'll tell you, 2 years ago, I didn't know where I want to go.
Yeah.
Like a team, I don't know. The brokerage, I don't know. There's a liability. There's, people, this and that.
Headaches. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, be by myself and do everything on your own. Again, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I wasn't really knowing where I'm going. And right now it kind of opens up a little bit. Right now I'm seeing a little bit of, of the end result, a little bit of light of a tunnel. Yeah, I definitely want to develop what we have right now. So I'm kind of feeling good right now. And I'm helping, others that they get the real estate license. And I know what was experienced at the big box. Mm-hmm. Then here we can do the hands-on. We can do the mentoring, but better. We have the agents who are growing and selling on their own become mentors too.
Yeah.
We have that now.
Yeah.
That we kind of designed. We think, hey, if you can take a newer agent and help them grow, we incentivize that agent to help them grow. So kind of like building a little bit of a, new model like the EXP has.
Yeah, it's more of a community feel. Everybody's not just for themselves. They're actually here to help each other, because if we can all leverage what we're all doing, then we can grow the business for not just myself, but like the person in my building. Hey, you've got listings coming up. How did it go? You find out what they've got coming up, and you can kind of match up clients as well. Or if something's on the horizon, you've already kind of got a set amount of clients and leads that are looking for a specific place in a specific neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, hey, so-and-so's about to list this. I can match you up, and that's a great deal for your client too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you have someone to call and be like, hey, we got this great investment coming up, right?
How you generating clients?
More so, main source is referrals, past clients. A lot of it has to, we're partner agents with Redfin, so we do get a lot of leads through them. And then we work our CRM and database. That's like the primary.
How did you generate them in the first place?
Started building a database, right? It starts with like your family and friends, putting them in there, right?
What did you do? Like call them, hey, I'm a realtor?
You say, hey, I started a new business. I really need your help. If you know of anybody that's interested in looking, I'd love to answer questions for them, right? It's not about, I'm here to just sell them a house. Like, get me someone who wants to buy something or sell something. It's like, hey, I'm learning. I want to learn more, but I can't learn if I don't have specific scenarios, because there's so many different things that go into real estate. So what questions do you have? Like, what have you gone through? Tell me about your experience. And then they open up to...
Were you comfortable doing that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was comfortable, because if I didn't know the answer, I'd be like, all right, great, I'm going to find out for you. I'll get back to you,
like,
right?
You could have picked up the phone and called your friend, hey, I'm a realtor. What can I do for you? Mm-hmm. I wasn't. Yeah. It was hard for me, Mm-hmm. Back then, you started in 2010, yeah?
Yeah, 2010.
So was there social media?
There wasn't as much information as there is now, right?
Yeah.
So like you had to like ask other agents, you had to like, look
like
around.
for the the first thing we now promote, right? You gotta open up your Facebook and Instagram, cover it up in a bio saying that you're a realtor and everything, your phone number, everything.
Yeah.
And start adding friends, start commenting on other posts,
Yeah.
start following people and stuff like that, so that you grow your social media, and then they come to your site and they see, oh, he's a realtor, she's a realtor, and then they subscribe or unsubscribe, whatever.
Now
to make a call and then, hey, I'm a realtor, by the way. You need something?
Yeah, but that also puts them on the spot, right? And kind of gets an immediate answer.
Yeah.
Versus like, even now, like you're sending friend requests, you're posting media and all of that. Like I still am like active with my friends. I'll call them up, like, hey, how's it going? And the first thing they say, oh, well, I saw your video. Like I know what's going on, and I'm like, oh, do you have any questions about marketing? They're the ones asking me questions, like what's going on.
Yeah.
So that initiates that conversation, and then you're constant. People overhear it. Even like in my kids' baseball games, soccer games, people are talking about real estate, and they know that I'm in the business. There may be three or four other realtors there, but it's how you stand out, right? Is the social media and how you disseminate this information. You don't want to be like a sleazy salesman.
Yeah.
Like you hear someone, oh, really? You're in real estate, or you're looking for a house. I'm a realtor. You don't like go at it right there.
Yeah.
They want someone that they can trust and that knows what they're doing. The traditional market is kind of coming back, where we're kind of having to negotiate, go talk to other realtors, make deals happen. Versus before, it was just we're just processing. We're just doing transactions.
Yeah. Right now, the house is not going to sell in 6 hours. Yeah.
No,
it's going to take a month.
Yeah, it's going to take some time,
which
right?
is okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I was thinking. How does like a person who has a couple friends that are realtor figure out which one's the best?
Yes.
That's the question.
Yes. That is a good question. Yeah.
I think everybody's thinking about it. Like, try to sell your house if you just think you don't have a real estate license and trying to put your house on the market. How are you going to go finding a realtor? It's scary. First of all, you're going to think that he's going to put it up and not talk to me. He's going to find an offer that's too low. He's going to make me move when I don't want to move.
Yep.
All these things are going on in the head. Like, it's scary.
How can you figure out who to trust, right?
Trust. Now, okay. One way to do it is to bring them all one by one.
Interview
put them, interview them, go through the process. Personally, I hate to do that.
Yes.
When I pick contractors to do some projects for me, I pick one. I like him. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not interviewing. I'm not looking. And most of the time, I pick somebody who is. I've seen some work. I've seen some recommendations.
Yes.
I'll bring him in, and if I like, I'll take. If there's something that I like, yeah, we'll find somebody else. But I'm not going to interview 3 or 4. That's too much work for me.
And it's funny because like, who do we always like whenever somebody gives me a recommendation, just like even for restaurants, because I'm big on food and beer, right? So if my friends tell me, hey man, I just went to this place, I had these amazing tacos, like you got to check it out.
Yeah.
Well, what's the next place you're probably thinking of going, right? Yeah. It's the recency type of thing. Same thing goes with real estate. Like if I'm seeing your posts constantly, you're closing stuff, you're posting videos about what's going to market, you're entertaining me and you're top of mind, then you're going to be the first call I make that, hey, I'm thinking of selling. This is what scenario I'm in. Like I'll call you to ask questions, right? Versus if I don't know you and someone's just like, hey, send this guy over, and there's no sign of him on the internet. It's just like an old generic web page. I don't think people are going to go for that.
That's what I like the video about, because people can feel your personality.
Yes.
And then they're going to think, this guy, I can do it, business with him. Or, nah,
Yeah.
Which is good. You don't want to waste your time too. Like,
if
people doesn't like me, but that's fine.
Yeah. I'm not for everybody, and everybody's not for me, right? It's as much as we want as much business as we can, you got to pick and choose, because that relationship's not always going to work out.
So what's your goal now? You want to increase sales, or you want to move into
I think the biggest thing I'm working on right now is growing the business, right? I've been kind of like brokerage
itself, not the other stuff.
Yeah,
like investments management.
More
just
so
the sales.
The sales right now. I think that's going to help me get to my ultimate goal of property sales. How am I going to do it? Through social media, like we've been talking about.
You want to
more
increase
content,
your own production, or you want to increase the whole team's production and add agents to the team?
I want to do a little bit of both. Yeah. Right now, we just signed 2 new agents actually in the last week and a half. You want to know why? Because they're managing brokers. Weren't cutting it for them. weren't available for them. Didn't have they had an old school mentality,
Yeah.
didn't have the tools or recommendation in the changing market, because everything has been great for the last couple of years, right? It's been easy. There's not a lot of problem solving that you need to do. It's a price reduction. It's just show something. It's be creative with your offers. Now it's like negotiating. You have to have experience. You have to know what creative ways are they're financing, creative financing.
And lead generation right now is a little bit different.
Yeah.
How are you gonna,
Yeah.
like right now everybody's thinking about that interest rate, high interest rate.
Yeah.
You have to make a lot of talk. You have to talk to a lot of people, explaining what's the, what's maybe coming, what are the programs right now lenders have and stuff like that.
What are the benefits of buying now, or does it make sense to wait?
Actually, there's something that I believe right now is a very good time to buy.
Yeah.
Because I'm putting some offers on investments too right now.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, I know the interest rates are too high. I know they're too high, but sometimes there's deals. Right now, you can get a good deal.
But I've seen videos right now. It says marry the house, not the rate. It means you're gonna change it, right? You saw those, right?
Did you see that the reel from Broke Agent when they tell the client marry the agent, not date the house? He's like, marry the agent, date the interest rate. No, he messed up the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw that. So like I think of that right now. Like you're not locking yourself in, and it's just like this like. Just like anything with the general public, we all go with like the old school mentality, and everything is cut and dry. It's not. There's so many flexible companies. That's why there's so many different mortgage companies, lenders out there, and creative ways to finance things. And like you're talking about, to get into investing right now is a great time. Yeah, the rates are high, but there's lenders out there that will lend to you below what it is right now. Community banks are doing that.
They've got some programs right now. Buy down. Yeah. They've got what are the FHA is assumable loan. You can assume the lower interest rate if the sellers.
If you fit certain incomes, they will already automatically give you a lower rate just to help.
They're working on it. Maybe 40-year mortgage is coming too.
Yeah, 40-year mortgage is available.
Is available?
It's available.
I haven't seen one.
I've seen a couple.
Really?
Yeah, but again,
it's gonna help.
It's the appetite that you have. It just depends on what the needs are, right?
Well, a lot of people want a lower payment.
Yes.
Really
so then you do interest only, right? For 2 years.
But can you do the primary residence interest only?
Yes, you can.
No way.
Yes, but again, you have to have great credit. It has to be the right scenario. Just like any program, there's different scenarios for each person.
Yeah.
And it has to make sense on what your goals are.
Ukrainians don't do interest only.
Polish people don't do either.
Yeah. Everybody's got to be paid off, man.
Yeah, you got to pay that off in 10 years and be whoever your neighbor is to paying off their house, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to pay it off.
So that mentality is a little bit different, and it's a little bit harder to break that traditional mindset.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you investing?
Yes.
In what?
Single family homes we flip.
Houses.
House.
Condo?
No.
Townhouse?
No.
No. Association?
No association work.
Yeah.
No frills.
Most people don't like association.
No, we don't like to deal with that stuff. And then we do a lot for our investors. Like we have a core group of investors that we find deals for. So if it makes sense for me, we partner with them. And then we also have people I've built a relationship with, friends, family that have money, and they're like, hey, how do I get involved? Well, we'll call you when it's time, right? So like not all deals are possible for everybody, because you've got to bring that money up front and there's a lot of risk. So you start them off with, hey, will you partner with me? Bring in 20 and see how it works.
So you do like a little syndication?
Just a partnership. We do just build a LLC with them and partner with them.
So you are the partner.
Yeah, we raise capital. Yeah, we'll raise the capital on these deals, and we'll go in on properties.
Multifamily?
Not yet. No.
No?
Not. There's nothing that's the numbers that speak enough based off of the risk and the areas. Yeah. We try to do like CB class type of areas.
Like what?
Like suburbs.
What's your last?
The last one, Carroll Stream.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah,
g.page.
Yeah. So we've done Southside. We've done like Roseland. It just depends on who can work where, and we can find the deal, and if numbers work. But yeah, we'll go over anywhere there's a deal. We'll go.
You're selling it. Do the 1031 not to pay tax, or you paying tax?
You pay tax.
Yeah.
The company pays tax.
Yeah.
It goes under the PATS.
How do you find deals?
MLS, wholesalers, off market. We use a company that basically can provide you with a neighborhood of phone numbers and emails, and we do campaigns that way.
A company called Click
to Invest.
Click to Invest?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Something Click.
Yeah, they send offers for a lot of properties that I've had. Like because I get a lot of like.
I get offers from them.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, like I put a property for sale. I get offers.
Yeah.
They don't call them tax. They just
Yeah.
10%. Usually they lowball.
Yeah.
This-
But that's a good baseline for a lot of the sellers. Like, hey, this is what an investor's willing to pay,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And this is like what the market is telling you.
If you got nothing better, then you start thinking about it. You know.
And it's the same thing that, Redfin does the thing where it's like an instant offer. A lot of other companies do that too, where you can get instant cash offers to just get an idea of what they're willing to pay you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to CarMax, but they have the same thing online.
Redfin works here, Chicago. I've heard that there's a bunch of iBuyer companies like
Yes.
Overpad and all that,
Yeah.
but they're all in
Different-
west side,
Like
west.
West Coast, and then
West
they do like Florida, I think, and like those areas.
Well, the hot markets first, and then they move towards.
Then they go back to the Midwest where
yeah.
we're a little bit
But
rougher
the
on
Redfin
on
already
that stuff.
here, they can give you the cash offer.
Yes.
How is it? Do you know? Have you had
I've seen.
experience
I've
or no?
had 2 people that told me that they've gotten them, and they're super low. I mean,
Super low?
yeah, same thing, like investment level stuff.
You hear about Zillow laying off 300 people or something? I read it last night.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, something again. They're doing something again.
They're restructuring.
A couple months ago, they ended up at 8,000 houses they need to get rid of because they bought too many for too much. Now the market's changing. They need to get rid
Yeah.
of. Stop buying. Now they're laying off people because they're restructuring again. The Zillow right now also is hiding your listings and putting their listings first in the neighborhoods that they have listings.
Okay.
And for sale by owners, they're actually like hiding it all. Like there's another section. So that right now, for sale by owners are having a really hard time to sell on themselves. Usually they just go on Zillow, right?
Yeah.
That's the only avenue they have for marketing. And they put it on Zillow, and Zillow kind of puts it in a, if you want to look for Zillow for sale by owner houses, it opens up the map, and then you have to click other listings, and it will show you
Yes.
them. So like,
Yeah, and we've actually used like for sale by owner with Zillow when we were looking for investments, because you can find a lot of like people that aren't pricing their properties correctly, or desperate homes that like there's a reason they're for sale by owner, right? They don't want to pay the cost. They need to get out of. Some of those people are very highly motivated. So we've gone on there and talked to people, and obviously their pricing is not
usually they're
approved.
overpriced.
Yes, they're not approved based off of what we would recommend.
For your business, do you do cold calls or no?
Cold calls?
Yeah.
We use what's called cold realty, and we get lists, and we circle call certain
call?
neighbors. Yeah,
You call?
I'll call
personally?
neighbors. Yeah, I'll
Every
call.
day?
No, not every day.
No. Like for you call for
I'm calling for clients. So my calls are for a purpose. So like if someone's like, hey, I want to live in Brookfield, I want a big lot with the driveway.
Yeah.
I'll identify. I know what sections of that neighborhood are that, and then I'll section that off, and I'll get their phone numbers and their emails, and then I'll send them emails, and then I'll just put them on like a campaign there. Just hey, we've got somebody, and then I utilize what's called slide dial broadcasts
for the voicemail.
For the voicemail, and I'll leave them a voicemail about what we're looking for, and then I'll see what kind of results we get, and then
So for the buyer who's looking for in the area, and they're kind of like
they're specific for
I
the
know
buyer
this
that actually
area.
knows what they really want,
Right.
and they're specific.
I've
we can
done
do
that too.
Yeah, I've done that too. And
I've done the mailers. I used to call through. We have Mojo.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, we
I've
used
used that
to,
before.
Yeah, we I used to call, but a lot of times people don't pick up. But I know that the mailer will get there. Those actually are very good. The calls I get from those mailers are
Really?
you always get a call from those mailers. Like whatever, 30, 40, 50, 100 I'll send. I'll get a one call at least.
Okay.
For somebody who's like, hey, I've got something.
Are they just postcards or
No,
you
letter.
like a letter?
Letter. It will say, I'm working with a family. They looking for 3-bedroom townhouse with 2-car garage with a basement, specifically in the area, because the
Okay.
reasons and the stuff. I'll get a call from that. That's for the buyers. But I'm doing cold calls every day for like listings. To find somebody who's looking for a service to help them sell a house.
Okay. We're not making those types of calls.
What do you think? Think that's not a good time?
Well, for me, I've done it before. So I've done the FISBOs, I've done expireds, I've done all of those. The amount of time I've spent and the type of people that have agreed to meet with me or talk to me, a lot of times they're not really serious about it. I've wasted a lot of time and energy, and also it's just so time consuming to get the right data because the data is not always correct. And then with all the people that are calling people constantly, they're just so annoyed by the time you call them that I've like, all right, maybe this isn't the approach for me. I'm not saying it doesn't work because I know people that do it and love it and can do it. It's just like not what
Do you think
can get
that
done.
the newer agents should focus on it? Should try it? Should
Yes.
do it?
Because what is that giving you? Objections to overcome, questions that people are going to ask you anyway.
Bam, bam. That's good. Yeah. That's what I'm. That's
how
what
you grow your experience, right?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's the skills you get from it.
Yes. It's not necessarily
like when
the result.
you get the person who you think in the future. Let's say you're working through referrals. Your brand is astronomically on a level that you're getting calls left and right. You don't need to make those calls anymore. But then when you see the person that you need to reach out, and you personally need to reach out and maybe do the business with, you already have the skills. You already face so much you don't really care even if they tell you no. F you. You're okay. You've been through it.
You have to work on something, right? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like the calls I don't need the calls because I don't get the value or the money back for the time I spend on it. But like I still daily I'm looking at what's going on in the market.
Yeah.
What are the things that we need to be discussing with clients? Like the interest rates have been like the hottest topic for the last 3 months. Yeah. Well, how are we going to respond to this? Because everybody's going to be like, well, I want to wait because interest rates are too high right now, right? So how do you combat that? How do you lay out the options of why they should still buy at this time?
Because the same person could have been saying 6 months ago, this market is too crazy. Mm-hmm. Everybody's overpaying. I gotta wait.
Yeah.
And now interest rates are too high. I gotta wait.
Yeah.
So like it's your now duty to help them really understand what's going on.
Yeah, and to understand it, you have to figure out what's their motivation. No. Why do you want to move? Why do you want to buy? Why do you want to sell?
Because one time I heard there was a buyer who called me and she said, I was looking for a property with somebody else, and I would have bought if they would have told me that I should buy this. I regret not buying it.
Okay.
Shame on that agent.
Yeah.
And I was just, the first time I heard it, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't want to have that. My clients telling about me. No. So every time I feel like I need to tell him.
You tell him.
Yeah. There's a way to say this, there's a right way to position it so the client understands that this is in their best interest, not in yours. You're not trying to make a commission here. You're trying to, here's the real information you need. Mm-hmm. Then you make a decision. But my job is done here. I told you everything. Yeah. So that was kind of like, whoa, like sometimes even like, this is the deal. Like the buyer doesn't see it. Sometimes it's not. In my opinion, this is the deal. You make a decision. In my opinion, this is the deal.
And I love to use analogies, right? And I go like, hey, if you're going to the doctor, there's something wrong with you, and he tells you need this specific medicine. Are you going to listen to this doctor? Yeah, because you want to get better, right? So if you're buying,
then it goes back to do I trust that doctor?
Yeah, do I trust that? Well, why did you pick that doctor? Because all my friends use that doctor, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing. Like I tell them, like you're using me because your friends have trusted you. I've been doing this for 12 years. Here's all the houses I've sold. I've sold 50 houses, right? Like so I know the marketplace. This is why, and I flip houses. I know this is a good deal. This is why you should think about this. Because in 2 months, in 2 years, if you call me and you're like, I want to sell my house, well, you have equity in it. But if we're going the route that you're thinking right now, you're buying a fully flipped house at the top of the market right now, and in a year you want to change jobs and move away, and I didn't tell you, hey, you may want to think about that, and I'm like, hey, you're going to lose money on this because after closing costs, you're not thinking about all these things. People really step back because you have to give them all that information, and then they use it as they want, right? I can't always put myself in their shoes because some people, hey, I just want the perfect property, rehabbed, and I'm going to live there for the next 5 to 10 years. Great, because you're paying it down. The equity is going to build over time. But if you're just buying your first place and you don't know where you really want, we all know they're going to be calling you in a couple years because it's either too small, I need another bathroom, I want a yard now. For sure. That's kind of where you have to kind of have that conversation.
You think it's important for an agent to invest too?
I think so, or at least know a portion of that.
Yeah.
Or go through it.
Yeah. I believe it's super important.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you invest? Like if you're a good agent and you know how to identify deals, why would you not leverage that?
There's something about it, You got it's
a stream of income too.
Yeah. It's a stream of income. Also, I've noticed the more I invest, the more people get attracted into investing and they reach out.
Yes.
They kind of like, if he is doing this, I gotta be doing it too. He's gotta know something. Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's hard to trust. I've said that before. It's hard to buy a Mercedes from a guy who drives a Honda. You know?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah, and also when you invest, you kind of on the next level. You know a bunch of loan products now. You've been in your shoes of risking. You know how the buyers and sellers are going, what their experience is. and you kind of know how to run the cash flow. You know what the DCRs, refinance, what the cash. You kind of speak on a different level.
Yes.
You kind of can give advice on a different level.
Yeah, and they can feel that for sure. They know for sure because they stop and
how much this costs, how much that costs, how much to replace. Maybe you don't need to replace. Maybe you can refurbish. This stuff. So this is another level. This is not just opening a door. Look how good it is.
Yeah. And then point out, this window's cracked, the furnace is old, and then just keep walking. It's like because you
do you like to write an offer?
Yeah, because when we've been going through the summer, I'm sure you've had this where there's multiple agents showing the same, like we're all showing the house, and the conversations are so different, and you're just like listening in on this other guy, and you're like, oh my god, what is happening behind me? Like, did this guy just tell him this is hardwood and these aren't even hardwood floors? Oh. And I'm like, God, okay. Yeah. It's like little things like that because we know.
Yeah.
I mean, people make mistakes, yes, but.
Yeah. Do your clients, you focus on specific demographic, area, polish only? Maybe? Not only, but you're focusing on?
I focus on, I get a lot of first-time buyers and also like second move-ups right now. Because of where I am in my age group, we all started, when I started, I was in my 20s. So the people I was selling to were in their 20s as well, getting their first buying condos, getting their first places and kind of figuring out their lives. Yeah. And now we're a little bit down the line and people are having kids now. And now we're looking at school districts. We're doing different things. So as I'm growing, they're growing and we're kind of collaborating and kind of growing that way. But
how are you staying in touch with them so they don't forget you?
Social media. Constantly using the CRM. I would say since I started using the CRM, which I'm guilty of, I didn't use for a long time, like 5 years. Maybe I've been using it. If I would have used this in the beginning, I would be so much further along than I am now. But yeah, just keeping in contact, client appreciation things, just reaching out for all the different occasions, just calling them. Hey, I'm in your neighborhood, just thinking about you.
You thinking you're doing a good job?
Yeah.
Stay in touch?
Yeah, I think that's why I'm able to continuously do the volume that I'm doing is because I've got a good track record and I can always reach out to my people, and it's not like, oh shit, Dan's calling me again. He probably wants to sell me a house. It's like I'm generally, hey, I'm in your neighborhood. Just thought of you. How's it going? How's the family? And that's it. And I let them talk. Yeah. And then they ask me questions.
You know Buffini?
Yeah.
Brian Buffini? Mm-hmm. So he teaches the referral, how to generate business by referral, which is the best way.
Yes.
Right? But there's one thing. Maybe there's some people do it wrong. Maybe I've gone through the courses. I really love it, and the strategies he shares helped me a lot in the beginning. Especially I was super happy that I did it in the beginning, and I just used them until today. And the things like thank you notes, the following up and everything. But one thing was that he says work by referrals, and in the beginning I understood that I can't work by referral because I don't have too much of a database. So I need to get people into my database and people to know me. And there was one agent who would call his list of 100 people in database every month. And I noticed and I saw everything, and almost nobody picks up. Yeah. He just leaves voicemails. Yeah. It's just it was like I don't see it. Like every time they see the phone rings, like he's asking for a referral. Yeah, it's like the insurance agent or like those like life insurance companies.
Hey,
how you doing? Everything, and then you smell that he's not calling to ask.
It's not genuine.
Yeah, he's asking for a referral.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like it.
No.
Asking for a referral, it's just. I mean, it works. I've listened to the podcast in my first 3 or 4 years in the business. I was listening every single day to the podcast, every single day. And there's a lot of agents that say, if you don't ask, you don't get it. Yeah. Which I thought maybe is right. But I've never asked, and I got him. So I think there's other way to do it.
Yes. And again, it goes back to not your way is not the best way or the only way. Yeah. My way isn't the best way. The only way. It's just taking bits and pieces of and knowing who you are and what you're good at.
And that's another information here. Like, everything works. You just pick what works for you and own it.
Because too many times we all, and I'm guilty, and so are so many agents, they try to do a little bit of everything. Yeah. And then none of them work because you're just trying to do way too many things and you're just skipping around and you don't give it enough time to actually produce a result to see what the actual numbers are, and you don't track it right.
It's almost like doing a push-up, one push-up a day for 10,000 days. You got nothing. You're gonna get nothing. But if you do it in, 10,000 push-ups in, 3 months or 4 months, you'll see a result.
Yeah.
Right? So
Over
you gotta go at it full
Yeah.
speed, pick an avenue, just own it, just go at it.
Yeah. And another thing is too, like for a lot of the newer agents and the people I talk to, like when they're like, hey, what can I do? You can leverage other people's sales in a creative manner. Like when we do circle prospecting,
Yeah.
I'm
The house next door just sold
yes.
or something.
Yeah. Like, hey, your neighbor's house sold. It was a great deal. Just wanted to see if you had any thoughts or questions about the market right now. Like what's, what are your plans? And those conversations are so much easier than calling cold calling people who's like, hey, I'm a realtor. I'm looking to, to sell a house in this neighborhood.
I've done it.
Yeah.
And I got a couple listings out of it too.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's almost always like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like it's not for the right now. It's for the database. Because ultimately you have to grow a database and grow a following. We talk about it a lot in our business. It's like, how do you build a following? You can't go around telling people I'm the best. Nobody's going to believe you, right? But if you have 10 people that know that you're great and they're sharing all the great things you're doing, then those 10 people will speak a lot louder than you by yourself. So they're going to be the ones that are going to spread the word of how good you are and get you those referrals. Just like with contractors, like if I told you, hey, I need a floor guy, you know who to call. Yeah. You'll know who to give me. Or you'll know somebody that knows people that will give you and that you can trust.
I know
them.
the floor guy.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's how this real estate should work. It's just building that trust.
So you do social media, yeah? What kind of content?
I do everything. I do force, just sold, and we'll do walkthroughs. We'll do, hey, I'm in Bartlett today. This is what 180,000 will get you, and I'll do, music to it.
You
I'll
do the
reels.
dance reels?
I don't do dance reels. I'll do the pointing things, and I'll do the list of different things that hey, why you should buy now. And then I'll do market updates. I do a little bit of everything just to put something out there and be top of mind. Because if I'm not top of mind and people aren't seeing my videos, my family and friends.
What do you think, like these funny, joking, dancing reels, if somebody's doing just them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You see, I'm not for just those, right?
Yeah.
I'll do a couple of those because that shows your personality, right?
You're right.
Everybody knows kind of my personality. My friends like to see me make an ass out of myself, right? So they'll enjoy those. But if people are shopping, you need to have some sort of like content or some like stability in what you're saying. So market updates, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on in the market?
Knowledge too.
Yeah, you need to show your knowledge.
Dancing.
And then and something useful, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of my people, I have different groups of friends and people that I hang out with, and they already know what's going on in the market. Be like, oh, I saw your video about interest rates. What do you think's happening? Like, they'll talk to me about it openly. So you're educating them so they know what's actually going on right now. And as we know, every month things change. So we have plenty of stuff to talk about. Yeah. But when you're just dancing and pointing at stuff, no.
That's what I think. Yeah. You gotta show you. But you gotta mix them up.
But some people monetize off of that, and somehow they're getting a lot of views and people like that stuff. It's not for everybody.
Why don't you? So you said, why don't you leverage the fact you speak Polish?
I speak Polish. Yeah.
Why don't you leverage that fact that you speak Polish? Like, why don't you go on radio or newspaper or, like church bulletins and stuff?
So,
what do you think about that?
I like it in a sense that like
there's a million Polish people in Chicago.
There's a million people in Polish, but my Polish isn't as great, and my roots in like how I can communicate with the Polish people is not
so good.
Not so good.
Oh.
I don't know how to explain. Yeah, I'm more like American. Yeah. I speak fluently in Polish, and I definitely help. I've helped Polish people, but it's also like a cultural thing. Like, we are very difficult to get along with, and it takes a lot of
Ukrainian. So I think we're probably the same.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, effort, and there's a lot of stubbornness with those clients, and a lot of times with my personality, it doesn't always match up because there's a power struggle. Like, no, I'm right, you're right. Like, I want $1 million for this house, right?
In my opinion, I'm always wrong.
True, right? Because we're like, hey, I get what you're saying. We can go whatever route. These are the outlying routes. But sometimes it's if I have a bunch of Polish people that are very stubborn, or just clients in general, like, that will wear you down. Like, they take a lot of your energy and efforts, and I don't know. I feel like I feel like I kind of switch
Do you
clientele.
think maybe you're thinking more about the age group?
Age group.
Certain
Yeah,
age
the
group?
older age group.
How about the millennials?
The
Or,
millennials were fine. Yeah.
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 You have a lot of those.
Yeah.
here in
Yeah.
Chicago?
I have a lot of those.
You know, I'll tell you, I was focusing on Ukrainians.
Yeah.
When I was,
Yeah.
and still now.
Yeah.
I feel like Ukrainians want to have a Ukrainian agent. It's just we
Yeah.
built rapport better.
Yeah.
We understand each other better. So that kind of
Speak the language, comfort, kind of know where we're coming from.
you're still looking for comfort, and that solves that. Just speaking the same language. So I think you might be missing out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I think that's a good avenue to approach. I have a lot of Polish contractor investors, so I work primarily with them, and we communicate well, and we do deals together. Yeah.
Polish are heavily in construction.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
More than into trucking.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Ukrainians are more into trucking.
Yeah. I work with a lot of those investors. So those are, if I had to say, like, those are my main focus. Like, I'll meet a lot of contractors. I'll meet a lot of connections through there, and I work with them. I have, like, literally a distribution list. This is Dan's deals of the week. These are great, like, opportunities. I'll email it out to them.
Cool.
And then I'll text it out to them, and then I'll follow up. And then that's how I'll get deals from them. So in a sense, now that we're talking it through, I do work with a lot of them, and a lot of my business is through them.
Yeah,
that's buy and sell side.
Yeah, sometimes it's like you gotta look back. I do it constantly. I look back. I look at my spreadsheet. Okay, I have a question today. Where's my lead source number one? I think it's Facebook, but it was funny enough. It wasn't last year. It was an Instagram, and I think it was a radio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, funny. But I thought it's a Facebook. It wasn't. But now I feel this year it was a little bit more fair. So I trying to see where is it coming from.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you know you thinking through and like actually I do work with a lot of
So like when I look at the end of the year, I'll be like, all right, I had 50 transactions. How did I get these? And then I go back and I go, all right, 90% are referrals or past clients. 5% are from Redfin, and then 5% are circle prospecting. And then what worked? Open house people. And then you'll be like, oh crap, man, we haven't done an open house in months. And you go back like 2 years ago, I was at 20%. Like I was getting all these buyers from open houses. Like
you believe in open houses?
I believe in open houses. I believe in
to generate leads or to sell a house.
I believe in a little bit of both. Because if you do the open house right, you can generate buyers and you could potentially sell the house, because agents sometimes are lazy and they'll just send their clients over and they're like, hey, I just wanted to check this out. My agent didn't come through, and they see it and an offer is sent. But a lot of times I think it's just getting to know the neighbors. Open house is so many different layers. One, it gives you a reason to contact all the neighbors around that house, get potential first-time buyers that are just wanting to walk through the house, and you're just building your database. Yeah, and I think that's like one of those like things we don't do enough. We've even done for sale by owners. We've signed one-day listings and done open houses for them, just to get leads.
Would you do it in this market?
Yeah.
Oh, just to get it. I got you. Yeah. That will work. Yeah. Put on the contract right now. It's going to be a little tough in one day.
No. Yeah. But like just to get a open house going, and then usually they'll be like, oh, okay, well, what is it usually like? How long do you usually list a property? Well, it depends on how long it's going to sell. Like, what are you thinking? Then opens up a conversation with those for sale by owners. Like, that's worked in the past. So like, you go to I've got my list of like things that I do to get business rolling. If I'm having a good month and I've got a lot of buyers and I'm not really, I'm buyer heavy, then what do I need to get some sellers, right? Because the balance is out of balance. So I'm always kind of looking into what are the things that get me the certain type of client. So, and with experience, that takes time to figure out, right?
What is your opinion on buy and hold? When you holding any properties right now?
Yeah.
Rentals?
I have a couple of rentals, single families, kind of like the area that I grew up in. I know I've got a lot of long-term tenants there. I really wanted to get into these 6, 10, 14 units.
Same as me.
But the numbers.
Yeah.
And
I was talking to Greg last week.
Okay.
He's into multi.
Yes.
He likes multifamily.
Yes.
And I was asking him, what's your cash on cash you're looking for? He said 9%. I like 10. He called me greedy.
Yeah.
I like 10%. Because, I have condos and I have townhouses.
Okay.
I now trying to buy something with no association.
Okay.
And slowly I'm probably going to be selling the condos and switching to
Yeah.
something with no association. But I got going with whatever I could get going. You know,
Yeah, of course.
In
You gotta start somewhere.
2017, yeah. Here's a condo. I can make numbers. Okay, it's fine. There's association. I'll buy it. And I'm like, oh, pretty good. I buy another one. I keep buying. Now I'm like, okay, I gotta start now. You know, getting a little bit bigger deals. Like a 2-flat is okay, but I'm looking really for 6.
Yes.
Something with 6. So it's a commercial. It's fine, but I think that the numbers with the 6 is a little bit better than the 3 or 4. You know. But again, like I was looking today at a couple of 6s. They're 850, 900, 7 something, and a lot of times 700 is still okay. But a lot of times they need so much work in the 7s. Like you go up a little bit, 8, 9, it's like okay, it's a little bit too much already. It's like 150 per door, and you know it feels like a little bit too much. And sometimes the taxes are high, and sometimes a lot of it needs a lot
The maintenance.
So yeah, it's like I haven't landed the one yet.
Yeah, and that's been my problem. Like I've been talking about this for maybe a year and a half. Like I want to get into a big, because I have a collection of investors and people that we can raise capital from and borrow the money from to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the comfort level I have with the numbers is not great. But you can, but I've started kind of zooming out and looking at, all right, the bigger picture. Like
Okay.
what is your goal, right?
You gotta wait. Yeah.
Are you going to appreciate? Are these going to appreciate? Are you really looking short term? Like, hey, I just want to get cash flow. You're not depending on that cash flow. So for me, it's like, all right, as long as everything gets paid, we're making money. This thing is paying down, and we can leverage this in 6 months. Pull our money that we initially put in, the 20% or whatever you put in.
That's hard.
Pull that money out.
That's hard.
Get the next one.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to think about it.
Yeah. Well,
but to put it into action,
in single family, that's easier.
it is easier.
I don't know if you're gonna pull it off in a multi so fast. 6 months. I think it's a couple of years.
It's 9 months. It's stabilization. You got to stabilize it.
But it's hard. That's why you haven't been able to buy a building because it's hard right now here.
Yeah,
you know?
here especially.
Pull the money out and be no money down in the deal.
Because it has to appreciate. Because you have to put the work in. Yeah. And that's why those deals are so hard to find. Those are like the unicorns.
Rentals are low
Yeah.
over there. Those are people living there for $800, $900 right now. So you have to upgrade the unit, raise the rent. Upgrade the unit, raise the rent. So it's like 6 of them.
Yeah.
It'll take you 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it can be done. Anything is possible over time, but like that's where it's worth it though. Because we got to do a couple of single families, but how quickly can you get more doors? Because my ultimate goal is to get as many doors possible to just basically live off of, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'll just manage my brokerage, property manage those doors, and kind of lay back out of production.
How many doors do you think is going to take? 100?
I think for me it's like between 50 to 75. I think I'm comfortable with working with, and then ultimately you're never satisfied, so you will go. I will definitely go higher.
Yeah.
But I think that's the goal right now is to get to 50.
My goal was always 100, but yeah, association keeps it's managing associations is another one. You know? Sometimes they need to update this, letter there, update insurance, give me the new lease, move in, move out, check is here, there. The balcony has something, please remove. It's like okay, they're also helping, but in the other way, it's a little bit too much. Yeah. Right now, I'm at the point where I get another condo. I'm like, I have to restructure my management stuff. I have to give it to somebody to do it.
Exactly.
Right now.
And it's like, in the beginning, it's good, right? It's because you have a couple. It's not that big of a hassle. But once there's a number of hits, and then it's like, all right, how much is this worth? That's where you transition to the bigger.
Is there another industry that you would think, if you go back 12 years ago, you would choose another industry, different one? Like
probably like investing, like stocks.
No real estate. Oh,
like stocks. Probably like stocks, crypto, and that stuff.
But you need money to invest in stocks. Yeah. Let's say you don't have money. Like in real estate, we can work with no money.
Yeah,
you can get your phone going and you create sales. I didn't know, but the insurance industry is pretty good industry too.
Okay,
like health, not the health, life insurance and actually trucking insurance. Yeah, that's a good insurance, but you have to sit on the phone all day. Mm-hmm. That's the I didn't know about that one, but when I was going into real estate, but it's good. It wouldn't work for me because I like to be around people.
Yeah.
But
Hardest
real
thing
estate
is
all about people.
Yeah, real estate's all about people, but also just like information, knowing how to use the information that's available to you. Like some people are great with people, but when I talk to them as agents, they have no clue what's going on. Like how did you come up with this price? Like why are you listed at this price? And we're like, I don't know. That's what the client wants to sell it for. Cool.
Would you list like a 50,000 overpriced house?
Yes and no.
Would you put it for sale?
Yes
Depends
and no.
on what?
Depends on like how much this house is. Like say if someone's house is really worth 100,000 and they're like put it up for 150, maybe I'll do it. And I'll be like, all right, we're gonna put it up for your price, but these are the contingencies. Like in a week, if it proves that nobody showed up, we've got to make some changes, or we might have to break up or whatever I tell them. I don't know. Depends on the person. But like I will do everything in my power to lead them to the price range. I always give people a range that they're comfortable in, and then I'll
If somebody tells you either 250, in your opinion, it's worth 200.
Yeah,
I gotta put 250. What's the like? Would you say there are scenarios where you would say, "I'm sorry, I'm not the agent." Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna waste the money and time, because I'm gonna tell them, hey, with me, we've got to put money into. We're going to put our marketing money behind this, right?
Yeah.
So the market is the market, right? All of us want $1 million for our house.
Right.
We love our house. We want the most money, right?
Right.
So no matter what, I'm going to be the one that's going to get you top dollar for your property, sell it fast with the least amount of hassle, right? We're going to do the best that we can. But in order to do that, you've got to work with me. We've got to work with what the market's telling us.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you want, what it was 3 months ago, what the prices were. It's what the market is going to tell us. So the market is going to tell us pretty quickly what your house is worth. And you'll find out fast, and it usually works.
In my opinion, it's all about motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would take overpriced house too. I've done them all the time. I'll put the overpriced house on the market, but it's all about the motivation.
Yeah.
Sometimes seller wants to feel that price.
Yeah.
They feel they sleep better when they test it.
Yeah.
Something tells them that this is the right number. Okay, let's do it. Let's see it. But if there's a real motivation, they really need to sell. They will understand. They will have to, do whatever it takes to.
Yeah, and that goes into why are you selling? What are you hoping to accomplish? And then you're using that. Okay, well you need a bigger house, right? Because there's 4 of you and you have 2 bedrooms and you want to get a bigger house. Well, in order for that to happen, you have to sell this house. So that's kind of like, all right, in the back of my head, I know that this has to happen. They want to list it for a high price. Then you have something to work with. Like, all right, well we got 210. Still, you're making money. You're still able to get to your goal. What do you think? Like, how are we going to get there?
Yeah.
And that kind of helps. But the motivation is probably like the biggest. Figuring out why. Why are we doing this? Why are we getting into this in the first place?
This whole moving thing is a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Are you ready to go? Where are you going?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah. And if
you have a place lined up?
Have you even talked to a lender? What are you? What are your intentions? Do you know that there's still closing costs involved?
I'm having a guy like he calls me from Google. He puts we get a conversation and I'm like, where you going? I got a place. Like, if somebody comes tomorrow and buys, I got a place. Like, okay,
yeah,
got a place. May I ask you? You're confident that it's gonna be ready for you when it sells? I got a place. Okay. So it's like I got nothing. You know? I want to know I got a place.
Yeah.
So I really like when we talk.
Yeah.
There's a conversation.
Yeah.
I kind of understand your situation, so I can kind of also guide you, because sometimes you make a decision and I can help you, but I don't know the details. So
that's why we gotta ask the questions.
I don't need to know how much is your bank account or stuff. I don't need the financial. I don't need your tax returns. That's a lender.
Yeah.
But for me, give me like a story. Where you going? What's the time frame? Like an offer comes, they want to know too.
And even if they tell you like, hey, I need to make 50,000, like that's my goal, then at least you have something.
Now you start working numbers.
Yeah, then you have something to start with, right? But
what if I cannot get 50?
Yeah, exactly.
What we're gonna do?
How are we gonna get there? Like, how are you planning to get to this 50?
What if we get 40?
Yeah.
Then I'm not selling.
Yeah. Okay.
And it might not happen. So you gotta take a risk. You gotta put the pictures, do the marketing.
We'll do it.
Do the open house.
Yeah. And I don't mind it.
Comes with the territory. So
exactly.
Like it's a cost of doing business.
I have an archive of photos that I've taken that never worked out, or they just had to cancel. We have that. Go back.
I even had like an offer and the seller said, I decided not to sell. I had an offer. That was a long time ago.
That happens. I've had people that want to sell for too low, and then they're just like, no, I don't want to sell it for that high. And I'll be like, excuse me, like I can get you 20 or 30 more. And they're like, well, I'm just going to be happy with this number. So I think you should just put it up for. I'm like, oh, like, why did you come to this? Well, so-and-so told me that it's not worth that much. I'm like, oh, great. Like, how long have they been in real estate? Like, how many homes have they sold? Well, they've lived in their house for 20 years. Well, things have changed, and like, you can get more. I'm like, I'll gladly I'll net you to 200, and you can pay us 20,000 in commission. Do you want that? Like, no. I'm like, okay, well, we want to get you your money. And I've had that scenario, as wild as that sounds. Yeah. That's the ideal client, but yeah.
Oh, you had a situation where a client fires you in a way that hurts you bad?
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah. I had one where it says, yeah, you don't seem to know this area well enough or have enough connections to get me the house that I want. Yeah. Because so-and-so said that house, they would have got it for me. Oh. I said, okay, well, we made the offer based off of like what you told me, what we agreed upon, and I did what I could with that one. I'm like, I'm happy if you're gonna be happy with that person.
I can see it, because this market last year, it was
cutthroat.
You get the house the first time the buyer puts an offer. He or she gets the house. Mm-hmm. First of all, it's very rare. Mm-hmm. Second of all, it's not the best thing for the buyer too, because they feel like they overpaid way too much because everybody can't get it. I got it right away. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this third of all, if you don't get it for the 3 times, like a buyer writes 3 offers on 3 different houses, and they can't get it a third time, they might be just saying, I'm done. Yeah, this whole house buying thing is. That's what I also think, that there's some buyers out of that market still will be buying something with a higher interest rate, but now, okay, I'm just gonna put a offer on one, and I'm gonna get it now.
Yeah, like I've honestly gotten people things under list price the last couple of months. Yeah, 20
under list prices.
Under list prices. Yeah, like look how much you're saving. This house was 40 grand more. Oh yeah, months ago, right?
What's better, really? What's better? Is it better to really overpay and get a low interest rate, or is it better to negotiate? And yes, you will have a high interest rate.
It depends,
but you have a chance that they might come down. You lock in the other one. And then you get the best of both worlds if they come down. Yeah. Maybe they're not, but if. But, it depends. Like, you can't really say that it was better than now, and now it's better than it was.
It's all dependent on their situation, what they want, what their outcome is. Like, do you think the people that bought last year that got the rate under 4 or like 3.5 are going to want to sell to go to 8% right now? No, they're not going to. They're happy. Like, I'm sticking with that. Yeah, I don't care what's happening. There's going to be no real motivation for those people. So then that inventory that's been locked in under 5% is not coming back until these rates come back down. And then that market's going to come right back. It's just like.
So what do you think about 2023?
I think it's just going to be kind of where we're at right now. It's just going to be kind of like lingering. Like people are going to, if you truly need to sell, and if you truly need to sell, you're going to sell. Yeah. If you want to move, you're going to pay the interest rate. It's just like buying a car. You don't go to the car dealership because you just want a brand new car. You go for a reason. You're like, my car's old.
People go because they want.
Oh, yeah, they can afford it, right? But like, for the most part, and then you take the rate that it is there, right?
Yeah.
So with the houses, I think it's going to slow down for a little bit because people are still trying to grasp what's going on with these rates. Mm-hmm. But as we're seeing, there's great opportunities. And I think a lot of the investors and the people that have been kind of hiding and waiting are going to start buying stuff up. Yeah. And this is the time to accumulate. To accumulate some properties. If you're looking to invest, or even if you're even if you're looking to move up. If you're looking to move up from your house now, you can get a great deal, build some equity in it. Because as we know, if you get a great price, doesn't matter what market you get it. As long as you get a great price, it's always going to appreciate.
Until a couple of weeks ago, I didn't know that home equity line of credit could be used for the down payment.
Yes.
So, like, if you have a condo or a little house and you think maybe I'll keep it as a rental, not necessarily selling it because my interest rate is 2.5. Kind of don't want to give this away. You know, free money.
Yeah.
So I'll just maybe I have some equity. I'll just pull the equity as a HELOC and put that as a down payment on the next house. Yeah. Yeah, interest rate will be higher, but then really I'm using the money that the market gave me for the down payment.
Yeah.
Really, the market gave you the equity.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You know, you're riding the wave of appreciation.
Yeah.
You pull the equity, put in, you pay down a little bit.
And I think the comfort level too for some people is like, I don't want to do this by myself. Like I get a lot of people that want to invest and want to get into it, and they're like, how'd you do it? And you start talking about it, and then they're like, oh yeah, that takes a lot of money up front. Yeah, but you don't have to do all of the money. There's different routes you can take, and I think that's like the education piece that they're missing. So that's why I tell them, hey, if you want, and this works a lot for us, is like, hey, if you want to partner on deals, we can get started. We can do a deal together. And then if it's going well, you can buy us out, and that'll be your rental property. I've done that before with like me and my brothers have all used each other to get more rentals. Like my brother will just use it to get the FHA 3.5% down, and we'll get it as a rental property after the year or whatever. But like people, there's options out there.
If you're not married, you can use, you can buy properties for you to live in. Each of you could. But if you're married, then you count as a, single person, like you're married already. So you can't be buying primary residence.
Well, like you can buy a primary residence by yourself as long as it's one partner, and then the other person can still get like a conventional loan and still do a low % down.
Yeah.
So
depends on who you work with as a lender.
Exactly. Yeah, but there's so many options. So I think right now is a great time for people just to invest, at least learn about it, and dip their feet, because people that have been waiting for 2-3 years have been just sitting on that money.
Waiting from 2016 for a market crash.
Yeah,
man,
it's coming, right?
Could have bought 2 houses and paid it off.
Exactly.
With the market growth,
and that's where it goes in. Like, what is the purpose of what you're doing? Why are you doing this? What do you want the outcome? Because I have always talked to people like, oh, I want to invest. Okay, well, why do you want to invest? Well, I just want to make a ton of money. Okay, great. Like, what's your goal? How much are you trying to make? And like, how much can you invest? Yeah. And it's always like, well, I want to do like $5,000. No, that's not really going to cut it. You're not gonna get anywhere. We can partner. We can do things.
You do stocks?
I've done stocks. I don't do very well in stocks, but just like buy and hold.
Right now, everybody's losing.
Yeah, right now everybody's losing. But like,
you play with it?
Nah. I did a lot of crypto.
A lot of crypto?
Yeah.
Still holding? Or?
You're still holding. So crypto is.
You believe in crypto?
I believe in crypto. Yeah. I believe in some of the technologies. I don't believe in like putting your entire life savings into it. It's just a portion. It's like
Bitcoin or everything. Or like
Bitcoin and different coins, different things that are out there. There's a lot of things.
Like I believed in XRP. XRP lost the lawsuit.
Oh, I have XRP too.
Me too. I bought. Like I had some when the 2020 end of 2020 there was something with happening with XRP lawsuit.
Yeah.
And my wife, she was like, "Oh my God, I gotta sell." She sells everything. She sold all XRP.
Yeah.
And then like 6 months later, it goes up to $1 something.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is right now, but I think they lost, and I think it's gonna go to 0 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like doing any investment, right? You have to be kind of like
but those things are, who knows what it is.
They don't know what it is.
Like you know what this XRP is and all these coins. It's like a .com thing.
It is like a .com thing, but you have to kind of research, just like anything you do. If you research and you have the belief behind it, just like stocks, there's ways to kind of figure it out, but nobody knows 100%.
I think I'm old.
But I'm old school too.
Old school. Yeah. I got the house. It's yours.
Yeah. Real estate. That's something that's like physical.
Yeah.
Like even the metaverse stuff where people were buying land in that world and all of that.
You heard about the Meta having troubles and everything. They can't grow. They're losing billions of dollars.
Yeah.
I think they're giving up on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and that was like 2 years ago. Everybody was trying to. You couldn't buy enough of it.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even get it. It was like buying a house. People bidding stuff up. So, yeah, real estate. Obviously, people are always going to need somewhere to live.
Until we go to Mars.
Yeah. Then we buy stuff there, right?
Yeah. Okay, Daniel, thanks so much for coming out. How do people reach you if they want to reach you?
Yeah, you can check us out on patscouts.com, or we're on social media, Dan Wallace, or on Instagram, Pat Scouts. So, they can reach me either way.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. See you next time.